Welcome back to the pack, guys, and welcome to the Arena Watch podcast. We got all the guys in here. Wait, I don't think my camera's on. What the heck's going on here? This whole time I didn't have it on. Shame on me.
That's the only reason why we watch the pack.
Exactly. You watch it for, just for me, so here we go. Oh, we're good. My audio, I don't know if I'm on the default now. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you on.
Yeah, because it just switched the audio device. I want to make sure that it didn't accidentally put me in somewhere else, It could easily have just, muted me or whatever on the
Yeah, I can hear you in both.
Okay, that's good.
My volume on you for a second.
Okay. And then I'll edit this window right here. Okay, welcome guys. I'm going to throw on some audio. Let's see if this music is a bit too loud, but hopefully it's all right here. Or I could find different, Dragon Quest Tact 8 music, if you guys like that stuff. I'll have, like, the OST in the background. Because this one never causes issues, apparently, so it's perfect.
Yeah, it's good music. People like Dragon Quest 8, and it doesn't trigger copyright, so.
Yep.
Keep
they need all the advertising they can get. Anyways, let's see. Do I have the chat open? I gotta throw the adverts out, too. I don't think we have our adverts out. Oh, no. It's just so... Everything's everywhere. I can't find anything right now. Oh, oops. Resizing that would be bad. That's good. Okay, I can't find the chat. Did I close the chat? If I close the chat, that's bad on my part. But anyways, guys, welcome. How do we do this week, you guys?
I feel like I feel like normal Trop was on track to get an easy perfect week this week, but then for the last match, I don't know, Night Trop sabotaged him.
Was it actually Night Trop made his way to the day? Did he come from the future or from the past? Which Night Trop was this? Be honest with us here.
I think this one might have been from the.
It's a bit unusual seeing Night Trop at this early in the day, or you did it like what, 2 o'clock, was it? 3 o'clock for you? Yeah, that's pretty early.
Actually, it's funny because
What's up, Levi?
I find that since where for me actually.
Do I look 17? It's what? It's the contrast, right? Because you got to see me with the beard and without the beard, so it's like that's the difference. Because with or without the beard, I tend to pass as much older than my actual age, so that's good. Maybe if I start working out, then I'd look a bit bigger too. That would help. I've realized being skinny isn't good for trying to look older than you are. Oh yeah, here's everything. Everything's here, it looks like. Okay. Well, yeah, this week I definitely made some 200 IQ plays. I decided to dodge an attack, and that decision that I made, and only I made, won me the game. In hindsight, I could have totally done a few things differently. Like if I had Claria faster than KSS, Claria would have hit on the other side of the map, right? And hurt, what was it? But I wouldn't have known, the layout. But maybe if I had done, because I sometimes bring agility on my Claria. So if Claria outspeeded my KSS, she would have hit. What was that unit? Seraphie first, and then KSS's hit would have finished Seraphie. She wouldn't have been able to heal Metal Dragon, I believe, right? You can't heal in death, like if you're getting hit by the same in that moment, right? Do we know that? Is that confirmed?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
if you kill Seraphie, she doesn't do her reactive heals for any of the...
Yeah, that could have been the guarantee right there, or I could have, I don't know, I could have done a few other things, maybe tried to position differently and played it a bit safer. But it worked out, you know, because I made the expert decision of not getting hit, so that was very good.
That's that's really the best reason to tune in to the Arena Watch podcast is it's been scientifically proven that the more often you attend the Arena Watch podcast, the more often you'll dodge. You won't get crit. It's science. So you gotta trust the science.
Yep. Exactly, yep. Looks like I can't get a whole white background going for my face to be lit up here. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, so that solidified me as having a perfect week. Spoilers if you didn't see the VOD or the podcast already. Let's read the chat. I've been ignoring it. Let's see. We got Levi, and it's just Levi mostly. I threw match on day 3 and forgot Carver can kill Clary. Yeah, that's... Well, Clary could also bait Carver, because if Carver uses the bang attack, he can't crit with the typeless. Just a thing to consider. Like, if you could manage to get Clary a hit with just the one attack, that's very good for you. So, yeah. Like, I could survive at least one hit from Carver, as long as no one follows up on Claria that is, like, even half res or higher. Then I'm fine. So, yeah, got the perfect week. I thought we'd have more people in perfect. I was surprised, because I thought that this week for sure was easier than the bang week, and I didn't think anyone would win the bang week. I didn't think anybody, but we had one person do it. And usually, like, now that people have gotten better at Arena, like, we used to see, like, I don't know, like 10 people sometimes winning Arena. 10 plus people. I don't know, some weeks we might have got, like, did we have 24 people once win Arena? 24, 22? I can't remember what really the record was.
Math, where there was, like, no hiding spots, no obstacles. You could almost auto that map to a win.
Did I win that? I don't think I won that week, did I? Did I?
I can't remember if you did. I know I didn't. That was the week that I pulled the same thing Trop did in his final match. I did on one of my matches where I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and avoid a crit. And
what's up, Nick, Jen?
Instead of risking a crit, I'm going to guarantee get killed.
Yeah. So we've all had pack Trop Celery moments on that Arena Watch. It's okay. We just want to balance out our 200 IQ plays with 50 IQ plays to not overwhelm everyone.
Exactly. I mean, though, it usually is me making those out there plays, but sometimes we gotta split it up. So it's nice having that.
Yeah, and,
otherwise, it's just me.
Yeah, I finished at -16. I had one night Celery match where, for whatever reason, I forgot that I could use Boreal to kill Halberd and instead just let him hit a heavy resist Royal Reptile.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Royal Reptile plus Halberd Breath killed my Claria.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But overall...
And then I had another match where I don't know if I could have avoided it or not, where it was... Overkilling Machine survived Claria plus Boreal with like 1 hit point.
Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
Well, did you try dodging that one?
I must have not paid my Arena Watch dues. I did not.
You gotta pay your Arena Watch dues, otherwise you can't dodge. So. Yeah. Alright, I almost got the self-promote here. And, well, how do you guys feel about this next coming week? Oh, wait. Before that, did everyone see the AWs in the leaderboards? I think we did surprisingly well. We had 2 members in first, didn't we? This week?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a lot of people scattered out all throughout, like, I think the top 150, but still, we had a lot of representation. That was nice.
So as long as people are gonna scroll and they're gonna see more AWs, it's a beautiful sight to see. I'm still gonna make top 10. People are still gonna see on the leaderboard, which is good. So that's more AWs.
Yep.
Celery with -16 might make it into the top 20, which means that he might also be in the top page. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if -16 is making it to top 20. Probably not, but top 50 seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well that looks good. All right.
We have representation, yeah. Even Nightblades is back, and is he still Nightblades, or is he like AW? Well, actually, no, he's still Nightblades. We gotta find a name for him, like AW Blades or something, or AW Knight, I don't know. Some names are easier than others to incorporate the AW into.
AW Knight. BDS? BLS? BS? Night BS? AW Night BS? I don't know. Come on. Okay, we're good. Connection's back. Alright.
Perfect.
Had me scared there for a second. Okay. But going into this week now, what do we got? We got 240 weight again, so we're off of that 225. We still got 30% damage reduction, no HP boost this week, but we got physical enhancement. How do y'all feel about that?
I think you're okay.
And the map is literally split. Like there's 2 halves to it. There's no, you're not gonna have OKM running down the middle and hitting everyone from behind like a safe block anymore this week. So, what do you guys think? How do you like the map? Do you guys like the map? Is it better or worse than Crack Week was?
I'd say it's worse than Crack Week for anyone who has KSS. Just because you don't have that same
maybe
overlap.
Relies on KSS is a better word, right? Because a lot of people have him.
I mean, just having KSS, like,
but you might not.
If you have him, you rely on him. When the map supports it, he's that good.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, we've got the wings. So just like the map this past week with Crack Week, your fan breath type attacks can hit every space except for that one directly behind the column.
Mm-hmm.
And and then as Wyvern just commented, knocked with the being in the wings, he could hit up to 4 units depending on how they were. If you were to run up against a team where they were all stacked in that cross formation, or that Tetris block formation.
Okay, so next gen is Wyvern Gymner. Welcome,
Yeah.
Wyvern. Guess Celery already said that. And his phone's down, must have hit auto. Almost lost 4 deaths. 6, rip, top 50. Ended up 65th. That's not bad. AW Night Long.
So-
That's already too many characters. Split maps are okay if they don't have the back row. I'm reading the chat. Sorry, I was trying to catch up. I'm doing it on the phone now.
I think one thing, I think this week will be very similar to Crack Week, because even though Crack Week had bonus HP, that was mitigated for a lot of the meta teams by the bonus to crack. So Great Dragon pretty much hit, harder than normal, even with the bonus HP. Claria especially hit harder than normal with the bonus HP, because also bonus nature.
You know what this map reminds me of? Do you guys remember the Zap Hero Week? The block wasn't there, but it was basically the same map, and that block really doesn't do anything. The fact that you can't put a unit there does something, but like the block itself being there doesn't really interfere. But it's basically the Hero Week. Like, you could put Bianca where Marquis is, and so long as they're not all in the back row, she might be able to, like, hit 2 people. I'm not saying bring Bianca, but it's certainly an option, I'm gonna I might bring OKM. He seems like he'd be fairly good. A lot of cleave units still could be good. It's just that the damage will be split, more or less. I'm gonna have to take a call. Hold on. Allo.
Let's see. Yeah, even your 5 range physical like OKM and Bianca, you can still hit a significant portion of the map. You've got six spots within 5 range. Only that back row that you can't reach with your 5 range attacks.
I think behind the pillar is going to be pretty deadly if there's like a Zoma or something under there. Behind that like one tile.
You still could hit it with Claria, but obviously that's dangerous.
But Clary alone's not going to kill it, so you need to hit it with 2 things.
There really aren't units to follow up with Claria, though. Like, it's just her, mostly, right?
Yeah, I think that's
It is literally just Claria in the current roster. There are no 8 ranged units.
Not until Hybrid.
Until Hybrid Bloom.
Basically. No 8 range for powerful attacks for, A rank abilities. There are some for others, Gremlin, technically. Alright, let's keep reading the chat. We got...
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to hit.
So you're going to bring Bianca. I'm not going to bring Bianca, probably, but I'm saying that it was similar to Zap Week. The reason why Bianca was so good on the Zap Week is, the AoE's nice. So she was like the second, best unit below like Terry or something. So she had nice AoE, but it was line, and so it's not like she always got it. Terry could get this kind of AoE, which might have been a bit better for reaching. But yeah, she just had a massive amount of damage because the hero thing was boosted and the zap was boosted. So it was a massive amount of damage. But this week I could, Nocturnus going down. Just look at this map. If you had Nocturnus where Marquis was, he could hit that whole area with a cross, basically, up to 4 tiles. If people had units on those 4 tiles, he could hit 4 tiles. And it would be pretty devastating. You'd literally just build him with HP. He wouldn't need the extra damage, I think. HP, agility, and just watch as people, pull out their hair just trying to face you. It would be amazing. OKM leader with UKM gonna hit hard. Yeah. Yeah. Could be. I won't be able to know, but because I don't have UKM, but yeah, I assume so. Even in even some of the other units that are not as powerful, like Gildan Britches, or maybe with the B rank ability that he has. What's his name? Schwarzschild. I don't know how to say that. That's the problem. But he has a decent Schwarzschild. Yeah.
Schwartz.
Schwartz. We're gonna ignore the chilled part. Okay, fair enough. But he has the same range as Atomic Blade with one of his abilities, but it's a B rank and it's typeless. Take that for what you will. My crossbow could hit like 500-600 damage without leadership. On most enemies, maybe even more now because my OKM is maxed. This has a decent ratio too. You could get the leadership with OKM. You will have the physical boost as well. So if you have that ability at +10 and you have your Swartz like maxed as well, max awakened, he has 606 attack. At least for me he does with standard flail. So he's only like, for me he's 9 attack behind OKM. He doesn't have the 2 stacks at the start of the turn, but still it hits pretty hard, guys. He would still be okay as an alternate, and if you can't attack, oomph or do something, I don't know. You could bring, again, Gildan Breeches could be right in between them. You could use Gildan Breeches to, like, look at this map. You could imagine if you had Gildan Breeches in between Marquis and Metal Dragon. He has a bunch of agility. You gave him like the claws or whatever. He buffs both of those two. Marquis, where Marquis is, OKM would be, and hit those those two in the back right there. So the archer and the guy with the many arms or whatever. Then Metal Dragon would be where Swartz would be, and Swartz would still be able to hit the typeless at the very least on where the troll is. So that would be pretty good, I think. Not the most optimal damage, or, I mean, it would be good damage. I mean, it's not the most optimal range. Like, if all the units are behind that, it would be a problem. Yeah, I definitely think a unit like Nocturnus could see a lot of use this week.
Can I point out something funny that I've noticed a few weeks in a row now?
Go ahead.
About like
Terry would be
I want
good.
to make a quick blurb on one unit that you want to bring and why this is funny. So
Terry's so
2 weeks ago, it was bang 50% weak. So you want to bring the squid because he does bang.
Mm-hmm.
This week that just passed, it was nature 25% weak. So you want to bring squid because he's nature.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's physical week, so it gives you an excuse for a third week in a row to bring squid because he's physical. So.
But also tanky, so you could, hopefully survive what the enemy has to deal. Yeah, I think Squid is good. His tackle, you could put him very far back and he still will manage to tackle. I don't know between him and Terry who's faster, depending on awakenings or what you roll on your claws. But if you had, say, Terry in a spot where he could dash through 2 or 3 or 4, 1, 2, or 3, opponents, maybe Squid is behind him and also dashes or something crazy like that as well and just wipes that side out. I think Terry is very, very good for this map, I think. Terry's probably one of the top units, I would say. Nocturnus could be interesting. As long as he could survive turn 1, he'd be even more amazing on turn 2 as well. It's just some crazy options out there. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm probably bringing Squid. I've had a lot of fun using him during Nature Week. He just absolutely destroys anything weak to bang. He'll one-shot any King Shi Slime or a Stark or even Halberd with his massive defense. Just straight up destroys them. So he's got that incredible, 8 range or 7 range linear. So very, very flexible on where you can put him. Incredibly tanky to survive, any attacks. There's nothing in the game is going to one-shot him without a crit. It's just not going to happen. So I'm almost certainly bringing him this week. On top of course, like just about all the blooms being 50 weight, compared to Terry or Nocturnus, that's a not insignificant advantage.
So, what would be the benefit of, say, bringing a Seraphy, a backline Seraphy? Maybe I have a team that's really fast. Seraphy also fast. Someone already just mentioned it. People are going to bring a backline Seraphy anyway. I don't want to throw the recommendation out there. I don't want to see a whole bunch of backline Seraphys. But theoretically, right? Like, could you... If your units were built for agility, and they're physical units, and you also built Seraphy to be just a bit faster, gritty-ditty to everybody that was in range, and just watch these really fast physical units now also have a stack of attack, and be super fast too, because you decided to build agility instead of, attack, because everyone's already fast this week. Because Seraphy was a unit I had in mind for the 44-week rule change. But this could see it work too, because it's not like her attack up that she gets on people can't work in tandem with the 50% physical boost it kind of does, so...
So, the main issue I see with her this week is the split map. You're not... Like, most of the time you're going to be, spreading across the map, I expect.
Mm-hmm.
If you run up against a team where they're all stacked on one side, then that worked great. You can also stack on one side. You can gritty-ditty your whole team. They can go demolish things. But what's even more important than that, I think, is, of course... the digital communism strat. Your physical units already have 50% bonus damage. Do you need an extra 15% on top of that?
Well, the caveat was that you were building agility instead of physical. So you're kind of nerfing yourself, but also it kind of evens out anyway. That would be the trade-off. Because that's the problem I have with most physical units, is they're just not fast enough. A lot of them, not all of them, obviously. But if you were able to build like a crap ton of agility on Nocturnus and take no hit damage-wise, wouldn't you? Just a thought. I don't know. I don't want to throw the recommendation out there if it's it's bad.
I think it's a huge sacrifice for 50 weight when.
What about Gildan Knot with a bunch of agility and Gildan Britches. What about Gildan Britches with a bunch of agility and buffing again like 2 units?
I think Gildan Britches is entirely superior to Seraphy this week.
Okay.
Like that is my.
Would you recommend attacking those 2 fronts? Because let's say the enemy team is split. What if you wiped out one half of their team, right, on one side, and your units were kind of close and clunked together, but you didn't split your team. You just stayed on that side. And then the enemy would have to walk to you, maybe hit you a few hits, but not with their whole team, because you just wiped out half, relatively speaking, half their team, either 3 or 2 of their units on the other side of the map. Would you have much to worry about? What would you more often than not recommend splitting and attacking both fronts, or just wiping out, the bigger front on the right, like just hit all the? I don't know.
The goal is always to minimize the counter offensive. So of course, if you can wipe out all of their threats turn 1, then even if you're leaving things alive on the other side, if they're units that can't threaten preferably, or only have that 1% chance with a crit to threaten, then that's a pretty solid approach to the match. But if they've got a threat on each side, that's when the stacking on one side doesn't particularly help. If you've got Zoma on one side and Nocturnus or some other physical threat on the other side, it doesn't help you to take out one of the two threats, because the other one is still a threat to kill something that you just charged forward. So I like I said, with not having increased HP this week, I think the meta strat, the cleave strat, is going to be incredibly strong as always, and I don't think the physical has many advantages over it without the increased HP. With the increased HP, the physical has gets closer to even with it, because the blitz strat loses a lot of their kill potential, and the really hard hitting physical can make up for, they can still kill even with the bonus HP, so it makes up for their disadvantage of having less range overall, and also, like you said, less speed overall in general. So the martial, the breath, that blitz AoE strat, I think that's going to be the strongest one for this week. And if you're running that sort of strat, as I said before, Seraphie is just not a threat. The only way that Seraphie really messes you up is when you leave stuff alive, and I think without the bonus HP, running the typical meta team, you're not going to leave stuff alive.
Okay.
You got maybe that one spot in the back.
I am worried about the cleave being split so far apart. It might be hard to stack damage. One of the tiles is close, one of them is far away. So obviously that the tile on the top right and top left of both sides is prime for hitting like a fan breath, but maybe the other spots might be a bit harder to try to land. So I don't know.
Yeah, it does have. I don't remember if it was Zap. I know one of the weeks when we had a similar map to this, it really came into play that the back three spots were effectively untargetable. There was you could only hit them with the fan breath or with a 7 range unit like Boreal or Marquis. So there's the spots next to the spot behind the pillar. You really have to remember that unless you're running one of those 7 range units, you can only hit them with one unit. Of course, Boreal, Marquis, and Claria are big options for hitting the with a second hit. Of course, Boreal, Claria, Marquis are all quite fragile, and we don't have bonus HP this week. So if they're running all the way up there, you better be sure that nothing else is surviving, really. So, because Claria, for me, I had trouble keeping her alive with the bonus HP and with bonus nature. That was double bonus HP, and she still was not particularly beefy. So she will die to just about anything that hits her brilliant, and any 2 things that hit her for neutral damage, and just about anything physical neutral will take her out. So I think that's what's going to cause people to lose the most points this week is you gotta, take into account the lower HP after all these weeks of bonus HP, and many of them with double bonus HP, a family and the overall. So watch out for that. It opens up a lot of options on offense, but also anything you leave alive, could be a threat.
If these physical units also had like a boost to agility, then they would be, then they would be insane. I don't even know if a HP boost would have been as good as them just being a bit faster. But yeah, I'll have to think about it. Do you think? I mean, it's not like the boost does nothing. People bring physical units every week anyway. So when you're facing these teams with physical units, they would be, a bit more of a threat, wouldn't they? Like, it'd be better if you had your breath cleave team. It'd be better if you went against another breath cleave team and see if you can't take them out, because, you have selection and turn order and all those things to worry about that the AI doesn't entirely have in its control, But I don't know, what do you think? Like, are you going to avoid any physical units this week at all? Are you not worried?
Probably
like a
not.
backline Nocturnus could really screw you. Not that I think anyone would bother to put him in the backline.
Nocturnus would be real obnoxious. He'll cut off a lot of the map. I mean, that's probably about the most obnoxious thing that you could face would be backline Nocturnus. Carver is pretty much always, unless I'm running Noct, which I very well could be. Carver is going to be super annoying with his bulk. Even with, there's not bonus HP, but he's still just a huge pile of defensive stats that can, threaten a 15. Well, I guess this week it'd be like 2250 crit on turn 1.
What permutations are you going to be running? It's a standard 240. You going to go triple A and triple S, quadruple S? No, quadruple S and like an A unit, or?
Let's see. So like Great Dragon, Squid. Squid's probably a big avoid for me. I don't like facing Squid, and he's going to be pretty threatening with that big physical boost.
Mm-hmm.
So Great Dragon, Squid, that's 100. Boreal, I like bringing just about every week. 135, so 105 left. Could be like between Nocturnus and Dragonlord Trueform as a 65 weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably I might get to bring out the Gigantus this week. Run the double A with Gigantus. I've bloomed him, slowly over the past few months. I've been leveling him and getting his talent points and everything.
Why are you going the double A? You wanted to fit in a 65 weight, or I missed that.
I feel like I'm probably bringing either Dragonlord Trueform for anything I want to hit Frizz, or Nocturnus for any whoosh.
Okay, that's fair.
And then Gigantus, like, he's gonna hit hard with that boost. He's got massive, defensive. He's got that fan breath range. So I think he's gonna be really solid this week. With, he's hitting against lower HPs and he's hitting harder. I think he's going to be really solid. It takes away that range with Claria, but Claria, like, I feel like Claria would be too difficult to use turn 1. That, you have to kill everything in order for her to be safe. Or like everything except for a Dragon Lord, something that can't hit her at all.
Well, technically, when you look at this map, imagine she's 2 tiles behind where Marquis de Leon is. She could go over to the left, up left of Marquis de Leon, and at least hit a crack on the Great Troll. So you could wipe out that, like, left side of the map, maybe, right? And make sure she's in a safe spot, because I don't think from that tile she would be left in. I don't think anyone being where Hellion is or where this... What unit is that? It's weak. Oh, it looks like it's the Devil Moth. Yeah, so I think either of those 2 units can't reach mostly. I think most units wouldn't be able to reach Claria, other than like another Claria probably. So I think that would be a good place to position her.
Yeah.
Sure, she would sacrifice the AoE
in the same spot.
Yeah. I realize that. It's like no,
if you're not using Claria for her 7, for her 7-8 range, she's not amazing.
It would be more for the elemental coverage than anything else at that point, really.
Yeah, and yeah, that's really what I don't feel like she's terribly useful, because her Kakrak is gonna hit something similar to Gigantus's Ultra.
But it can't miss. And Gigantes is still going to be slow. Unless if you build like a stupid amount of agility on him, he's going to miss.
He's got like 80 agility from Bloom.
It's a lot, but it's not enough, I think.
We'll see.
How much how much agility does yours have right now?
Let's check. Let me bring up the...
Because like KSS got like 80 agility as well, but he's an S unit, and it's like it made a difference for him, but I don't see it doing the same thing for Gigantes. Like you could build... Oh my goodness. You know what would have been good for him is the roll that I had on my Okeanos sword. I had a 17 agility on that, and then 2 HP rolls, but then I got rid of it. I got rid of it just so I could clear Vi Major 10. Viz Major? Vi Major? I don't know. It's French, right? You don't say the S. Whatever. But I cleared that, and I had to get a little bit more HP on my Marquis de Leon so he could survive like a swoosh. Rest in peace. Yeah. I actually liked that roll because it came in handy more often than not, having that just a single extra roll of agility on a weapon. Just a single. Right, and then 2 of the thing that weapon's dedicated for. As you know, swords are dedicated for HP, so I had HP. But that one single roll of agility, more often than not, came in handy so many times. And there have been times where I was on the cusp of needing that third HP roll, but it never, I could always rank up the unit. I could always just bloom it, or something happened that I was fine. And I cleared all the content that way, so I never needed to re-roll that weapon, spend the extra gold. And I got all the use I could out of having that agility and made the switch. But I guess that would have been perfect on him. I don't have him ready. It's worth noting that the week after that, we have an A and below week. So you're going to be prepped for not just this week with Cyclops or Gigantes, but also next week as well. So you got any numbers for us yet? Or is it still loading?
Yeah. I just got it up. All right, so... Let's see, with, let's go with, all right, first thing, we'll just go max agility.
Okay, so he says, what is it? He said 344, looks like, is the max. Wyvern said that. Interesting.
So,
but you would what would you probably build him with if 344 is the max?
if 344 is what he is with no extra agility, I'm probably just going to be putting Beastmaster on him.
The beastly jacket.
Beastmaster. He can't wear clothes. He's too manly for clothes.
He's too what?
Too manly for clothes.
Too manly for. That's funny that the tanks can't wear anything but the hats and plate armor.
I do have my my ninja headband rolled for agility.
How much is that?
I think there's 8 on it. I think I have two golds of 4 each.
It might actually be worth it. It's shocking how great agility can be when it's stacked with the right weapon. So with your Beastmaster Claw, that's like another, who knows, 80, 100. How much does that even get? It has a 30 base, and then it has rolls potentially for like 24 each, times 3. So you could at least hit like 100 something with it. So yeah, having 444 agility wouldn't be bad. But is that what you're getting right now?
I am. Okay, so that doesn't need. Let's see what I get here. All right. That looks like that's all of his stat. There we go. All right. There's another one. He's got 2 small agility nodes in addition to the large ones.
Did you max them or?
Oh yeah, I told you I had all his talent points. So
that's good.
Let's level up. Make him. I had him just a fraction from hitting 110. So
there's no battle road for him, unfortunately. Yeah, or.
I don't think so.
From any
doesn't
event.
Matter. He was in my leveling team for a long time, just gathering talent points.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what he's got here. 1200. So with Beastmaster Claws and the Ninja Headband, he's got.
450 maybe. That would be nice.
463 agility.
That's massive. Are you going to actually keep the headband on him though?
Oh, probably not. It's just 8, and I can put like. Let's see. He's a demon, so at worst he can wear the demon armor. But I've got several different.
What are your rolls on the Oh no, never mind. You're gonna be bringing Squid. I was about to say the Sorrow Claws, because that has a slight bit more attack.
Straight ability.
But it has the base attack on it, whereas Beastmaster's Claw doesn't actually have any base attack at all.
Yeah. So it's got attack +5, 18 agility, 20 agility, and then of course the base perk of Bang Potency. So that'll be on Squid though.
Yeah.
Which means that either Nocturnus or Dragon Lord True Form will probably be getting Flail.
Okay, so it seems like you have your heart set on bringing at least 165 weight. You're not gonna do the quadruple S with the A at all this week.
I don't think so. And then even with the Beastmaster Claws, so no HP gear on him currently. I'd probably switch the armor. So let's say just worst case scenario is that demon armor. So with the demon armor, 1273 HP, 437 attack, 432 defense, 453 agility now that I took the headband off.
Hey, it's a physical week. Do you recommend everyone build defense? Everybody needs to build defense this week. Get rid of your HP rolls on your armors. No, but there's always the chance of that crit. So.
Yeah, you're always concerned about the crit. So, as for going 4S, I have Overkilling Machine at 1 awake, so that would be a potential option for a 50 weight.
Mine is 5 awake. Would you recommend me to bring OKM? Like, would you bring OKM every week if he was 5? Would you definitely bring him this week if he was 5 awake?
I think you definitely bring him this week. I don't know. I think you'd bring him most weeks at 5 awake. He's got that 6 range, even if he's even if it's only with a B attack. I would say any map that's like this, where you have a significant number of tiles within that 5 range, I would probably be bringing OKM if I had him maxed.
Okay.
But some weeks we don't have those wings, and there's only like maybe 4 total tiles out of 10 that you can hit with at 5 range, if that. There's some weeks that are a lot more, the map's a lot further out, and you really need to hit at 6 range turn 1, and I don't have the experience you do with OKM. Maybe that crossbow isn't enough when
he does
you're
have
always...
He does have 2 stacks of attack, so it's like it hits as hard as Sorrow Pull does, basically, but it's single target, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Usually hits about as hard as a Sorrow Pull. And the fact that Sorrow isn't building attack and OKM is building attack, and it's only exacerbated it further, right? Because both of them are max awake now. My OKM was lagging behind Sorrow in Awakenings for a while, but now they're both maxed. So I would say maybe his crossbow even hits harder than the pull does usually, because you have 2 attack stacks. But I don't know.
Yeah, I've got OKM, KSS, Metal Dragon.
He has slightly more attack, like with Flail. If they both had Flail, which obviously he wouldn't have Flail, right? Like Sorrow wouldn't have Flail. It just wouldn't happen on this map. On Arena. But he would have 9 more attack, essentially. OKM would. My OKM. But because he has the Flail, it's a lot bigger than just 9 attack difference between the two of them. On top of the attack stacks, it's slightly stronger, I think, than the OKM pull, which isn't bad. Which isn't bad by any means. It's just, I don't know. It's pretty good for a typeless. It's like having Psy Cannon almost, but you have a little bit more range, maybe. But you're met with defense some of the time, so that's a counter to it. But
so, I don't particularly like KSS this week. No increased HP. If you're Trop and you have a full awakened KSS, then absolutely still worth bringing. But if you're me and you've got a 1 awake KSS,
look
that's
where the KSS is on this map currently. Like, he could hit Hellion and he could hit Devil Moth, right, from where he is, correct?
Yep. Yes.
So that's not the worst thing ever.
No, KSS can still hit a solid amount of stuff, but he's going to be right in the middle of everything.
Exactly. So he's targetable.
And mine has like, I don't know.
Mine is 4 awake, so if I resist Frizz and Zam, I should be all right, I think.
Yeah, 4 awake, you've got a lot of options where there's good matches to bring him. One Awake, he's pretty fragile. Like he's just kind of dangerous for me to bring. I could try running max HP on him. Maybe that would mitigate some of the stuff, but I don't particularly like it for for One Awake.
I think
and also you're losing KSS. The big advantage of KSS is being able to use spots that other units can't. And there aren't any of those this map. So wherever you put KSS, you could put Halberd, Great Dragon, Ruff, Vera. You could put any of those fan breath range units in the spot that KSS is using. So it's a straight trade-off as opposed to Crack Week, where you're getting extra damage out of KSS because you can put him in a spot where no one else could use. So I think that's the big, really the deciding factor for me with the Low Awake one is that when it's a straight trade, he's not nearly as valuable.
Okay, so there's not too much to think about for this week then. I mean, we touched up on Nocturnus, Squid. Those are two obvious ones. OKM's alright if you have Awakenings. I think Terry. Terry has range that some physical units don't have. And what's interesting about Terry is him and Squid could be in two different spots. And the same thing that you said about KSS. And hit the same tiles. This week. Yep. They could be on totally different spots and hit the exact same tiles, cleave together on the same thing and just do damage. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
if you have a good Terry, there's some people with max Terrys out there.
Yeah, literally everything you said about Terry also applies to Elena.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
So.
And which one's better right now, Terry or Elena? In Arena. Assuming that neither crit, which is what you have to assume anyway.
Which is a big assumption with Elena. Like her 10% crit is a lot.
But it's on your side. If it's the enemy side, assume they always crit. But if it's yours, assume it doesn't. Which one's better, Elena or Terry?
I think it just boils down to elemental.
Okay.
I mean,
coverage.
Because Elena, her dash. So your turn 1, you're usually hitting neutral damage, and then your turn 2, you're gonna be spinning with.
But
with
what's to
damage.
Stop you from using Elena, Terry, and Squid? Nothing really. I mean, they would be hitting different spots, but it would still work.
Yeah, you could run Terry, Elena, Squid, something else, because that puts you at 170, so you got 70. You could run 2 A's with that.
Or you could run Nocturnus.
Or you could run Nocturnus and Ghost.
That's a solid option, I think. How do you feel about that? Obviously, I don't think the Nocturnus is going to pair too much with Elena or Terry. Like, if he hits the cross pattern on one to 4 enemies, maybe Terry or Elena could hit one or the other unit, maybe, I guess. But they're faster, right? So there's that to consider. I don't know.
Yeah, Elena will always go first.
Would you build agility on Nocturnus this week? Like, if you had another agility weapon, would you have just built agility on him instead of attack? He doesn't... Are you giving him the leadership, first of all, and does he need it? And the agility, attack, HP, what's the situation with him?
I'm probably not giving him leadership, because the leadership's probably going to Great Dragon. Because Great Dragon plus Boreal is a lot of damage from Great Dragon leadership.
Boreal's going to be good for his rolling attack on turn 2.
Yep. Yeah, he's got rolling attack on turn 2, and he's got his breath on turn 1. So he should be hitting for like close to 800 damage.
My Boreal's one awake, and my was it Gigantes is not bloomed or at A7. So would you like what I described earlier about Claria just hitting one tile on turn 1 and then maybe, on the finish for turn 2, once when things are safe, hitting another, probably a bit more risky. I don't know, but between her and Boreal, because my Boreal's one awake. Oh, it's a totally different story entirely. Okay, Percival, that could work. Yeah, I could see that working.
You've got the, fairly strong physical. He's got the range, not all the way of that 8 range, but still 7 range. He's got the pull. He's got the spin. He's got enough HP that you're not, you can take at least one hit. You can take more of a hit than Claria, at least. I'll say that much.
But Claria could stay in a safe spot. Is the point? Just that one tile on either side would be a very safe spot for her if it's available. Just a thought, but I don't know, because I'm not sure what to bring for my A rank, because I don't have the option of a really powerful Boreal. He is awake, he's bloomed, so it's like even though he's one awake, he's still more powerful than most A units, I feel like, and even more so this week. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if I'm gonna get I don't think I'm going to get a perfect this week. I thought I would get a perfect going into Claria's week, which is what I'm dubbing it, with the crack in the nature, but I didn't think I would get a perfect. I don't think I'm going to get a perfect this week. Like, even Claria, you saw, she could have been targeted by Metal Dragon if it wasn't OKM, if OKM didn't have the damage. Let's say I had my Boreal a bit faster, and I had finished off that Halberd. Okay, well, maybe someone else would have got targeted by the missile. I would have... There's a good chance I could have lost units this week anyway, like not got a perfect, and I thought I would get a perfect this week, just looking at it. And there's so many chances that I could have, lost out, and I lucked out, But I don't know. I don't think... How well do you think people are going to do this week? Some people love this map. They're like, oh, finally, better map, better week. And in my head, I'm like, it's not necessarily better than... Claria's the crack nature week was actually really good map wise. I don't know what happened. Most people, even you had an optimal team, but some stuff happened. I don't know. Maybe you got unlucky buckets, and stuff always happens. So I don't know. But you alone don't explain us having this little people in first. It doesn't make sense in my mind, because when you have this little people in first, then it's a bigger sample size. Okay, if you had the optimal team and you still didn't win, for me, that's like, okay, that's just chance. But now I'm looking at the whole thing, and it seemed like Crack Week was a lot harder than it was, because it felt somewhat easy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if people aren't good at dealing with Nocturnus, because, like, as you saw from several people's buckets, like, people were seeing every single match, all 5 options with multiple Awakened Nocturnus, which isn't a big surprise, not with how long we knew about him, how strong we knew he was going to be, how much people love to use the new strong unit, whether they're good at Arena or not. And Nocturnus actually is, fairly reasonable in Arena. So I think maybe that's part of it. I think perhaps, one of the things I've noticed a lot of people mention is that as the weeks go on, there's more and more red flags, as Metazoa used to call them for Arena. And it's becoming more and more of a pick your poison. We saw a Reddit post this week complaining about losing a match because Alina dodged. Yeah, there's.
And then they even pointed out what they needed. They're like, I know, I could have used breath and
I know,
spells. And it's like, then why
used
didn't you?
attacks that can't be dodged.
Then why didn't
exactly.
you? Because it's like, okay, I had like at least 2 matches this week where I was like, okay, I have all this great cleave damage. The elemental resistances on the enemy team and their weaknesses are just right. I could just charge in and hit the enemy. But I didn't. I stayed back. I finished off Elena because she moved first. And then I moved in on the enemy team. And he probably, if you don't take that time to finish off Elena before moving in on the enemy team, and you're like, but it's efficient. The cleave damage, I could see, look at all those coffins. I can't not use it, It's a waste to use it on Elena. Well, guess what? If you don't use it on Elena, you die. So...
that's absolutely the case. But
I don't know.
and that's what
there's more red flags, but we have more keys to taking care of them as well.
Yep, and that's moving forward. That's going to be a big, separation between the good and the great, the average, the casual and the dedicated arena players is. How effective are you at determining what threats and what counters exist and adjusting your team and picking your matchups so that you're going to face teams that are threats, that have threats, but you're also going to have options to neutralize those threats. So being able to match up your counters to the opponent's threats, that's going to be a big skill moving forward. Whereas, in the past, it might have been a lot more of just like, hey, I happen to get all max awake bloom units, so I can just steamroll stuff. Hey, I have the strong combo.
We don't just see whales in the top anymore. And you see a few players with Max Awaken units. I have a few Max Awaken units. And none of them were paid for. Like, I didn't use any gems. I didn't buy any gems for units. But
that's a great point. Like early arena meta, the top teams tended to be whales. You would see a whole bunch of Max Awake teams, and then Trop and you had a few other of the more budget type players, but it was you were the exception at that point. You were you were up there with a whole bunch of teams where you'd look at their team and you're like, okay, they've put a lot of money into this game. And now it's you see the whales occasionally, but they're not crammed in the top like they used to be. They're more spread out. Because as Nock loves to say, the game is 80% player, 20% units, and as the game goes on,
especially at this point, you got more units, so it's like that gap closes.
Yeah, the free to play, the budget players, they're building up their teams. They may not have those full teams of Max Awake banner units, but you still got a lot of options, a lot of strong units, a lot of high awake units, even without spending money on the game. So, it's we see a lot of complaints, but I do think it's a good direction for the game to go in, becoming more skill based and less about just having the meta team, maxing the right units.
So what direction do you think? Okay, I've stated this before. I think that them giving medals daily for arena is a mistake. Like, if you cashed out at the end of the week and you saw, I don't know how many medals it is for doing for climbing up the promotion until, was it platinum or whatever it's called? Master 1?
I think it's, Master 1, I think is probably about...
If you win every match every week.
I think it's about 300, maybe 350, because I think you get a little bit over 1,000 in the week if you win.
You get don't you get stuff for just winning each match too, or is it just the promotions?
Nope, you get points or medals for winning each match. So
So
it's, I
let's
think
assume
it's
you
10,
won all 21 matches, because that's not
right,
hard
so
to
that's
do.
210.
210, and then you also got the the promotion.
Yeah.
And some of those,
Promotions,
sometimes the
each
promotion
one
is at times too, right? Sometimes. We've
sometimes
had that.
we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
So, but even normally, you start at bronze 4, and then you promote through 1, 2, 3, 4 to silver 4, then 4 to gold 4, so that's 8, and then 4 to master 1, so that's 12. So there's 15 promotions, which I think run 25 points each. So that would be 375. So it's like 585 arena medals for just participating, give or take.
yeah. Now imagine you got that, and maybe you didn't get first, but maybe you got 100 for finishing. I don't know, was it top 100, top something, right?
Top 300, I believe, is the one under 50.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. So imagine you got that. You get that whole cash out of like 700 gems at the end of the week. Wouldn't that feel nice? Then you wouldn't feel like Arena was so, useless. Like skippable, because then you'd see it and you'd be like, yeah, sure, the first place Arena player got 700 more than me, but I already got, like 700 myself. So that's not bad. They only, doubled a little bit. So I think if people didn't see that they were completely losing out, like against the top player, then they would feel a bit more motivated. But that aside, I think you have a bit more motivation with the guilds. This is what I wanted to transition to. With the guilds Arena, it's going to be harder, right? Because enemies can set up their defensive teams and they could just set it up to screw you. But at the same time, that level of involvement, the fact that you could set up the sabotage too, is it's coming. The sabotage is coming. It will be frustrating, but you could take out your frustrations by doing it yourself as well. So I don't know to what degree people's subjective enjoyment will be peaked here, but how that's going to be balanced between just the frustration of going against these basically unwinnable teams, right? Some of them are just going to be set up in ways that are just stupid. You're just going to lose units. You're going to lose points no matter what you do. But yeah. I don't know. But they're also getting gems, so it's like players like gems way, 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 way more than they like the arena medals. I'm pretty sure.
I think
so. I don't know as far as a motivational factor if people are going to like this more than the regular arena or less, or how's it going to be? Is it going to be a healthy thing, an addition? Are people going to finally start liking arena if this is what it is, And maybe that's the practice they need for the regular arena.
I think it's going to be helpful that you should generally be going up against guilds of similar caliber. So, if you're in a guild where you're mostly of the same level, and then you're going up against other guilds of close to the same level, then it's gonna feel fair compared to the regular arena, where sometimes you're getting easy buckets, sometimes you just have 4 days in a row of just ridiculously difficult buckets.
But I think this new arena benefits Wales more than the regular one. Like the guild arena definitely will benefit Wales way more. I think they're gonna have an easier time because they probably can deal with max awakened units better than we can. And if they set theirs to defense, and if you wanted to get first, you would have to go through them. You couldn't just go through the easiest of the 5 buckets, right? Eventually, if you make your way to the end, you would have to face them.
Yep. Yeah, there's which it just like as we pointed out earlier, the whales don't tend to all be the ones getting perfect -4, -8 every single arena week. I don't expect the whales to all of a sudden transition into perfecting their guild arena weeks.
So Wyvern saying it's 10 medals on win plus promotion if that happens. Okay, cool. And then he also said, by the way, guild fights have different point rewards. I think he said, I saw fighting giving 165 points instead of 128 points. It could be because, goodness, I think it might go on for many, many, many turns, right? If you're really up against a really hard team, it might go 4 turns, so everything's going to be spaced out. I don't know how they're going to calculate it.
It could be, different point rules.
Maybe you could lose up to a single unit and not take a deduction whatsoever, or maybe just having perfect, like losing nobody is, like you said, is a 120. Was it 165? At the very least, it is 5 points. It's interesting because it's not multiple of 4, probably. I don't know. Is 165 a multiple of anything else? Let me see.
5. Multiple of 3.
Yeah, I thought so. So 15, right? So 15 could be
15.
Yeah, it could be done by 15s for all we know.
Yes, we're getting that week 44. The turn 3. And yeah, it could also be an extension of the 3-turn arena rules for Guild Arena, where you still lose points for any units lost, but maybe you get 3 turns, maybe you get 4 turns.
Okay, looks like factors 1, 3, 5, 11, 15, 33, 55, and 165. But yeah, I don't think they're going to go 33 or 55, but 15 is a possibility.
Yeah.
Or 5s. 5's more likely than not. Sorry for interrupting.
Yep. Let's see. But yeah, that's and I do think that the going up against teams where you can't perfect, and the fact that it's everyone in the guild. Some people are gonna make mistakes. Some people are gonna get crit. Some people, you're gonna have the same factors that occur in the regular arena, just spread out across the entire guild instead of an entire week. So, I think that it will, mostly balance out. Of maybe I lose 8 points because I placed a unit in a dumb spot. And
Wyvern is asking, sorry for butting in, he's asking if we know which week we get the turn 3 bonus update. It's on week 44. It's not a bonus. Point, he said. 3-turn point update. Yeah. Week 44. And if you keep track in the Arena Maps tab on the DQT Guides hub, you should be able to see that I pinned it there and other stuff related to that. The change is permanent, so it's going to affect every week thereafter. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I think that, like I said, if you're, as long as you're in a guild of people in a general skill level and general, care level, if everyone's trying and generally performs around the same level, then it's going to be, I think, overall a good environment where sometimes, you get perfect and I mess up, and sometimes I get perfect and you mess up, and overall it balances out. That
because it's going to be interesting because there's never going to be a single guild that has full perfects. I mean, maybe in
Right,
JP, but
no.
not on global. There's not going to be a single guild with everybody that week got a perfect.
Yeah, I don't
So,
think so. Maybe, yeah, maybe for like
because
qualifier
I think
could
people
happen.
hate that. I think people hate that, you know, that the people don't fall, like the scores aren't more spread out, that they're clustered. You know what I mean? I don't think that people like the scores being clustered, because then you don't get to fit it in as many people into a category. Like if like 50 people got first, then no one gets top 50 or top 10. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, well, that's good for everyone in first, but the competitive nature there is gone, and it feels like you don't have to perfect, you know? So that's what I think people will like about no guild being able to perfect, because you don't have to perfect, and perfect is just being, I guess, the highest score that week, right? You'd be what the bell curve is graded on, essentially.
Yeah, it's possible that it's going to be entirely score based. It's also possible that it's going to be like, you know, a tournament effectively, where the winner at the end will be whoever has the most victories in the guild versus guild competitions.
Mm.
So, you know, you may mess up, you know, day 2 or whatever, but still win the overall guild, and then do really well another day, but, you know, not as well as the guild that went up against you, and get a loss. So I'm still waiting to find out how exactly the season rankings will be done. If it's purely points, or if it'll be wins and losses. The only thing we have heard is that each league is you qualify for in a qualification round of 4, where if you go 4-0, you get to be in the Master League, the highest league.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3-1 would be gold or platinum, and 2-2 would be gold, and 1-3 would be silver, and 0-4 would be bronze.
Okay.
So that's that was confirmed, or at least the 4-0 for Master, and I'm speculating on the others, was confirmed for the league seasons, how you qualify for each one, because the rewards for each season, the top finishers, they get those bonus gems for place 1 through 4, which can be in any of the leagues. And if you happen to be the top finisher of whatever the second league was, gold or platinum, it actually gives you the same amount of gems as the third place finisher of the Master League, and more gems than the fourth place finisher of the Master League. Mm-hmm. So still a pretty significant motivation. If you happen to, you know, lose a match during qualifying, you can still get a, you know, as high a reward as top 3 and more than top 4 of the Master League.
That's not bad. So are you excited then, or is this in your opinion, is it gonna be better, at least for you? Because it seems like you think it's better for most of the other players, but in your mind, is this a better system than regular arena is?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more exciting than regular arena.
Some people don't like exciting, so you have to mind that. It's like, do you want more harder premium content? You know, some people complain, or I don't know.
So I think it's really cool, you know, competing to be the best. That's obviously, it's something, you know, I try to do, especially PvE. Like I'm always trying to clear all the content, and you know, giving a similar system with rewards to you know, Trop, who's, you know, Like, he mostly has bragging rights with the current system. There's not a ton you can do with being the best in global at Arena.
He can do some insane weapon and equipment rolls, but he's just not doing them, which is funny.
That's about all you could really do is those S rank, and they're not even Omni Stones. They're sword and armor. Like, so, it's cool, but I think it's a pretty exciting for anyone who really likes the competition aspect of Arena. I think it's pretty exciting for the guild, building the social aspect of the game, whereas up till the guilds, all of the almost all of the social aspect of the game was posting YouTube videos, hosting a podcast, talking about stuff on Discord or Reddit. There was you really had to create the social aspect from nothing, just the common enjoyment of the game. Whereas this really put something of like, you can really cheer for someone in your guild, and it actually has an effect in game as well. It affects your overall guild progress. You see that building. I think it's a great addition for the social aspect of the game. And then there's other guilds that aren't going to be focused on the arena side of guilds, but just on the social aspect. Being able to chat in game. If you run a phone like me, like I have to, a lot of times I have to choose between chatting in Discord and chatting in game, or playing the game, because if I swap over to Discord, it usually closes out my game. So that'll open up the ability to chat with at least your guild members while still playing the game, without using multiple devices or anything like that.
I find closing the remainder of the background running apps tends to help, as well as I think some phones have a feature like here will have like a memory sweep, because it says like 3.9 gigabytes out of 6 for my RAM being used, and I just hit that button and then it drops it. I don't know if it's actually... I mean, it would be like having Task Manager running 24/7. I don't think that's actually looking at it all the time. But you sometimes Task Manager itself could be the most intensive task on a computer, ironically enough. But yeah, I think if you clear out your apps, you could manage to, depending on the phone, of course. Like even my Google Pixel 6 sometimes, and that's a new phone, right? It struggles to have multiple apps open, whereas my old Samsung is fine. I don't get it. Then again, I haven't ran DQT on this in a while. Once when I made the switch here, but maybe it was this latest update. Maybe the game just requires a lot more. So things to consider. I don't know. But anyways, I think did we manage to touch every topic? Any things that we missed talking about earlier? What do you think? As well as chat. I haven't looked at the chat for a second here.
That hasn't done much.
Happen the same as regular arena, right? So he asked, do guild tournaments happen the same time as regular arena, right? I think we answered that, did we?
I don't know if we specifically
talked about it. It's a 2-week schedule. I think it's a 2 week.
Yeah.
2 weeks, right? Rather than 1 week.
Yeah, each season is 2 weeks, and there is a qualifying, 4 rounds of qualifying. I assume that would be 1 day. I don't know if that's included in the 2 weeks, or if it's a 15-day rotation, or how exactly that's going to work. But that's, each season is 2 weeks long, and there is a qualifying aspect. But yes, the guild tournaments will be running alongside regular arena. So it won't be like,
we don't lose the old mode. We don't lose the old arena, basically. We still get the free medals from that.
Yep. So yeah, you'll have your 3 regular arena matches, and then however many guild arena matches for the day.
Yep.
I expect one, honestly. I don't know that they give us.
It's hard to coordinate with the whole guild, right? And make sure everyone does the match in time. So I think that's why they had to do a 2-week cycle season rather than a 1-week.
Maybe. I don't know.
Getting everyone to coordinate all onto one thing is probably hard to do. So having it spaced out is probably better. Just gives people a little bit more time in between each face-off. I don't know. But yeah, I think that covers everything. I don't know. What do you think? Any counters that we forgot to mention this week? Yeah, run a cover tank or something. No. I don't know.
Yep.
Considering that we don't have Dolmagus quite yet. There's no real counter this week other than Elena. So maybe Elena is better than Terry this week.
Well, Terry has evasion too.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. They're the best units then.
Yeah.
I just said it.
So,
you can't rely on it, but it's still nice.
You can't rely on it, but it does give them both, a 40 and in Terry's case even up to 60% chance to dodge
the Croc.
Dodge income.
The Croc is invincible. There's just no way around it. He's the best unit in the game right now.
Croc is a
he's only 35
very
weight.
Interesting A-rank.
He's the best
thing this week.
Best one. He would actually work technically. Technically would work.
He's physical. He's got a ton of HP. He's got reasonable defense.
You just got to build him with agility.
The ability to dodge. I think he's probably too limited during 2-turn arena because
he can't stack the agility enough times, or
yeah, he's just dashing in, and it's only a chance. He doesn't always get it. So,
but if he gets the AOE, then it's a higher chance he could maybe get it.
Yep. So, 3-turn. I think he'll be a much more interesting bring as an A rank, being that bulky bruiser type. 2-turn, I don't think is his time to shine.
Okay. Well, I think there we have it. That closes out the week and us talking about the following week and the podcast. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Be sure to check out the podcast next week as well. Same time, same channel. Anyways, if you want to join the pack with the pack, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you like this video, then like this video. If you have something to say, write it down in the comments down below. If you want to support the Arena Watch podcast, go ahead and share. And if you want to help us smash that like button on all of our videos, go ahead and join Kage's gaming Discord server. Oh wait, I forgot one thing. Hit that bell icon for notifications, guys. This ain't Twitch. Join Kage's gaming Discord server for all the best underground DQT conversations, and join my server for all the best DQT guides. Anyways, guys, this has been the pack. Signing out. Peace.
Peace.